Hi, ArcfieldWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Monday morning, February 7th. We have some patchy freezing drizzle in the I-95 corridor region between Philadelphia and New York City, especially points to the east of there. Even some indications on the latest radar that some patchy drizzle is breaking out across the D.C. metro region. We'll take a look at that next. This is all associated with a developing low pressure area off the Carolina coastline. Actually, a patch of precipitation well ahead of that system. That system itself will move to the northeast later in the day and produce a kind of a mix of rain, sleet, and snow in the eastern part of the Mid-Atlantic region later in the day and tonight, as well as the northeastern part of the nation. Here's the latest radar loop, and you can see a lot of radar echoes across New Jersey, even some patchy freezing drizzle right now in the Philadelphia metro region. All of this headed right towards New York City. Notice also, last few frames here, some drizzle might be breaking out as well right across the D.C. metro region. Now in all of these areas, the temperatures are at or below the freezing mark, and certainly the ground conditions are quite cold as a result of the recent chill during the past weekend. So again, over the next few hours, anywhere in the D.C., Philadelphia, New York City corridor, and especially points to the south and east of I-95, watch out for patchy freezing drizzle. Well, before we take a look at kind of the bigger picture, the longer term picture, let's take one more look at this patchy freezing drizzle situation using a high resolution version of the NAM model. This is the 3-kilometer resolution version, and it certainly has had a better handle on this morning situation than, let's say, the more synoptic scale GFS model, which we'll take a look at next. But here is the current forecast map for the NAM model. Again, the high resolution model, and it's pretty accurate in its depiction here. Maybe a little bit overdone on the snow part of it, but certainly freezing drizzle has broken out across the Delmarva Peninsula, across New Jersey, and even into the southeastern part of Pennsylvania. And again, don't be surprised if there's a little bit of drizzle over the next half hour to an hour in the D.C. metro region. Let's now move forward here. That pushes northward, certainly hits the eastern part of Pennsylvania, especially southeastern part of Pennsylvania and New York City. Again, temperatures near freezing right now. The ground conditions are quite cold, so you could have an instant freeze up on contact with some of this freezing drizzle that is falling from the skies right now. Then later on in the day, we'll have kind of a more of an impact from that low pressure area developing now off the Carolina coastline. It could put some rain, sleet, and even snow. The model's not showing any snow here, but that could be a factor as well. It certainly can be a mixture of rain, sleet, and snow at the inland edge, the northwestern edge of this particular low pressure area later today into the early part of tonight. We'll go a little bit farther in time. And here goes that low pressure system, again, impacting I-95 and points to the east in the eastern Mid-Atlantic, and much of the northeast U.S. will have an impact as well. In some areas, the interior part of northern New England, watch out for accumulating snow. This is the forecast map all the way into Tuesday morning. Certainly, inland areas across northern New England can get some accumulations out of this developing low pressure area. Well, let's take a look at the GFS model run from 0Z last night. Looking at a North American view of the 500 millibar height anomalies, kind of a longer range view here. Wanted to point out possibility in about a week or so, let's say around February 13th, 14th time frame. There certainly have been some signals of a deep trough in the eastern part of the nation. We'll have to watch out for that over the next several days. The second half of this week, by the way, looks pretty quiet and gets certainly milder than we have experienced over the past few days in the Mid-Atlantic region. Perhaps by Friday afternoon or Saturday for sure, could be some high temperatures in that D.C., Philadelphia, New York City corridor at 50 degrees or above. Let's just move forward here, beginning from Monday morning, this morning here. Again, we have generally quiet conditions after today and tonight in the Mid-Atlantic, the northeastern part of the nation. There's some signs of an upper level trough during the second half of the week, but again, The air will be only moderately cold. And then we go into the upcoming weekend. This is the Saturday morning forecast map. Now notice, first of all, strong ridging up across the west coast of Canada into southeastern Alaska. That will continue to allow some cold air to drop south and east from right in here. You can see that flow pattern up there from the northwest to the southeast. This is by Saturday morning. Then we move forward in time here, and we get into Sunday the 13th, and notice this upper level trough, kind of a deepening upper level trough as we go Sunday and Monday, about a week from now. This is the time period we have to watch out for. There's potential that a storm develops in this overall upper air pattern that will feature an upper level low, a deep upper level low over the eastern states. Again, next Sunday, Monday, the 13th, 14th time frame. Well, let's wrap up with the surface forecast maps from the operational run of the GFS at 0Z. Again, some patchy, freezing drizzle right across the eastern part of the Mid-Atlantic region right now. Not captured too well by the synoptic scale model of the GFS. That's why I wanted to focus in on the high-resolution NAM model. Did a better job capturing this morning's freezing rain, especially across New Jersey, Delmarva Peninsula. Now, let's move forward. That low pressure area intensifies, and the I-95 corridor region in the Mid-Atlantic will be kind of the northwestern edge of the precipitation. It can fall later on today and tonight as anything from snow to sleet to plain rain at times. Temperatures will get above freezing this afternoon in the immediate I-95 corridor region, but not that far above freezing, maybe the upper 30s, DC, Philadelphia, New York City, and then back down to near freezing tonight. So we'll have to watch out for some snow or sleet mixing in with rain, again, on the northwestern edge of this system. And it can produce some accumulating snow up across northern New England in the overnight hours and into the morning hours on Tuesday. Then we'll move forward again, generally a quiet few days in the eastern states. There will be a cold frontal passage here by the middle of the week. Generally storm free, however, for the remainder of the week after today and tonight. And then we get into the period of this upcoming week. And again, we talked about that potential for a deepening upper level low by about Sunday and Monday, the 13th and 14th. This is the forecast map for Saturday the 12th. There's a cold front in here, a lot of moisture developing over the Gulf of Mexico. This is the time period we have to watch. Strong storm does form using last night's operational run of the GFS by the time we get to Sunday morning the 13th, right here off the Carolina coastline. Pretty cold air mass in play here across the Mid-Atlantic region, northeast U.S. Right now, this particular system stays to the south and east on this particular model run. But again, this is the time period. Won't take much of a shift to the north and west to have kind of a bigger impact potentially in the Mid-Atlantic region, northeast U.S. Again, generally looking like the Sunday, Monday time frame, the 13th and 14th. This is all the way out to Sunday night. Again, this particular model run has that system to the south and east of the Mid-Atlantic region, but it's certainly a close call and something we'll have to keep our eye on over the next few days. But for the next few hours, watch out for some freezing drizzle in the DC, Philadelphia, New York City corridor, especially to those areas to the south and east of Route I-95. That's it for now. For ArcfieldWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.